Look at me, adventure ready to solo hike a 14er. A fool. That's what I am. See, today's Wednesday, my day off. And here I was thinking that there wasn't anything I had to do today, so it's the perfect day to go hike a 14er. I was wrong. So now I have to postpone this till Friday. The thing that makes this worse is that this is the weather for today in the town closest to the 14er. Kind of cloudy, but still warm. But on Friday, it's going to rain and be colder. You know those memes where the clown is putting the makeup on? Yeah. That's me right now. See you Friday. Well, it's Friday. I'm at the trailhead now. It's not raining yet, but I'm definitely expecting some sort of drizzle later on. I'm also pretty sure I forgot my on-camera mic, so that's also fun. Off to a great start. Like I said, off to a great start. last 2 people are coming off the peak. This is the final approach, the last scramble. But it's been thundering over there, and the guy I just passed said that he saw some lightning. So I don't know people. Yep, gonna have to head there. Sucks. So close. But that storm is moving in. We'll get them next time, boys. I should have known. Because we were off to such a great start. The wind. Oh, crap. The wind has finally died down. After I got out of that the middle of the thunderstorm up there, I tried to pull my tripod out for a locked off shot, and it broke. So now, so my tripod also broke this trip. It has now fully turned to snow. So that's fun. Coming down, that was a crazy time. Can't imagine what it's like up there if it's snowing down here. Time to finish going down. The sun's shining again. It's getting warm again. Am I a little upset that the sun is out again? Just a little bit. One thing is for sure though, My body's in pain. Wow. What a day. Can't believe that thing beat me. It's lucky it's pretty. Just wiped down my lens. Hopefully it's not messed up. It's not a weather sealed lens, so. But despite all of the unfortunate events of today and things breaking, it was still a good trip, still a good hike. This was supposed to be for the descent, but I was too busy running away from a thunderstorm. It's almost sunset, so I don't know. I might stay for sunset and get some sweet pics. My body's tired, so we'll see. We will see. Good thing this camera has IBIS, because all the way down, just handheld shots. This hike really put this camera through its paces. Weather sealing, IBIS, image quality. What a great camera. It didn't break. Like everything else today. And that's all I could ask for at this point. Yeah, the sun's pretty covered up now. I don't think I'm gonna stay for the sunset. Alright, I'm back on the mountain again. I'm going to get to the top this time. Partly cloudy skies. It's probably gonna rain again, probably around the same time. But I'm starting almost an hour earlier this time, so I should be okay this time and should not be in danger of getting struck by lightning. This time around, check this out. She's snow-capped today. It is definitely colder today. Nothing's gonna stop me this time. 13,700-ish feet is where I had to turn around last time because of the weather. It took me this time just under 2 hours to get here. And as you see behind me, it's pretty sunny still. So weather a lot better than last time. On the other side though, this is the final approach here. So a little ominous on this side. But I think I can summit before it gets crazy. I ain't gonna stop now. First time actually seeing the other side of the ridge. And honestly, looking on this side, still not too bad with clouds. It's too cold for it to stick. I honestly have forgotten what I put in here. Kodak Gold. Alright. I'm gonna warm up my hands a little bit and then I'm gonna head down. Still no crazy clouds. Down's a little crazy. But over there's a little crazy too, I guess. But time to head down. It's so pretty up here. All right, and here we are, a month later, almost to the day. So yeah, it took me a while to get to the footage, and then I decided to get sick with COVID again. Here I am again, sick with COVID on my birthday. Life is just funny like that, but I'm here, finishing the video, so let's get to it. First, I want to talk a little bit about the hike. If you don't want to hear anything about the hike, and you just want to hear all about the camera stuff, you can go ahead and skip ahead. I have listed chapters down below, so you can go ahead and skip to that. For the people who do want to listen to a little bit about the hike, some quick facts. That hike took me 4 hours and 51 minutes, including I probably spent like 30 minutes at the top, just resting and enjoying the view. And in total, it was 7.44 miles. I think, if I remember correctly, the hike one way is around 3.3 miles. And of course, it's a 14er. So your max elevation is at 14,066 feet. In the video, my watch was a little off, but just by a few feet, it is a 14er. That is my second 14er I've ever climbed. That is the first time I solo hiked one. Going back to the mileage real quick, that first mile is pretty easy, not too difficult whatsoever. The next two to the top, that's where it gets difficult, because the elevation gain, you gain a lot of elevation very fast. So Mount Bierstadt is one of the 14ers that a lot of people hike for their first 14er, and I can see why, because there's no technical difficulty about it really, but that doesn't mean you just wake up one day and decide to go do it, because those last 2 miles, they'll get you. You will be hurting. I also want to talk about why I didn't finish going up the mountain on the first trip and why I had to get back down. I don't know if more experienced hikers saw that and were like, oh, you could have gotten to the top, no problem. Like I said, this is just my second 14er, so I'm very inexperienced, so I didn't want to risk anything. I think I made the right decision. I don't know if you're a more experienced hiker. Let me know your thoughts about it, what you would have done in that situation. Let me know down in the comments. And also shout out to the guy that was on the trail, who let me know all the information that he did when he was coming down, which also persuaded my thoughts into eventually heading back down. I knew the weather going into it, but you just never know what's going to happen at 14,000 feet. And then going back for the second trip, weather a lot more nice. Very grateful about that. It was beautiful up there. If you haven't done Mount Bierstadt yet, I recommend it. If you want to know any more about the hike, just let me know down in the comments. At some point, I might make more hiking videos. But also, I'm not Craig Adams, who just so happens to live in the same city as me now. But I don't go on hikes as often as he does. But I did enjoy making this Craig Adams-esque hiking video using this camera. So let's go ahead and get into what I really enjoyed about this camera and using it on this trip. So first off, I have to say the 6.2K image quality coming out of it is amazing. For this recap, I'm just recording in 4K and normal 4K, so that way, if you see any differences, you could see between beginning the entire hike was 6.2K and then this is 4K. But either way, the image coming out of it is amazing, video and picture, and those were actually pretty much straight out of camera. There were some I changed the exposure a little bit, but I used a film recipe from Fuji X Weekly. If you shoot Fuji, you probably know about them and their film recipes. I cannot remember which recipe I used. Maybe I used the Portra V2 recipe, but honestly I can't remember now. Because of this guy breaking, I couldn't record the entire thing in F-Log 2, which is what the original plan was. This upset me so much. If you don't know, when you're using a log profile, there is a new base ISO that you have to use, and for F-Log 2 that is 1250. I had to double check. So 1250 ISO is pretty bright, especially on sunny, outdoorsy hiking videos. So my aperture had to be very stopped down because of that. Even when I switched to F-Log 1, still too bright. And then when I switched to the film recipes, it was still kind of bright, and my f-stop still had to be kind of up there. There was no way to get it down to 2.8, which is what this opens up to. So I'm definitely going to be needing to buy a variable ND very soon. And at first I thought I was going to be able to play off in the video, but you notice it. You notice it, unfortunately. You can see the cracks reflecting some of the light here. And if I were to keep it on for the whole video, it'd just be very annoying. Now let's talk about IBIS. Not much to say besides it did well. I didn't notice any wobbling in the corners or anything like that. Some of the clips I did stabilize in post as well. And we all know that IBIS is going to take out all the jitters, especially when you're running down a mountain and it is thundering, and you're trying to escape a storm. So yeah. Next up is weather resistance. Obviously for the first trip, it was the weather was all over the place, and it did well. From my knowledge, it did not break, thankfully, besides water getting into the mic, which is what I'm assuming happened. It's definitely what happened, but it definitely affected it. The entire right side was muffled the entire time and slowly got better until I actually wiped it off. But other than that, everything's fine. The mic seems fine as well, even though from now on I'm going to try not to forget the on-camera mic that I have, so I can use that for better audio quality. And as for the lens, as I stated in the video, it is not weather resistant. However, it seems fine. I still only have the kit lens. I really need to upgrade. I want the 16 to 55. I think that's what it is. 16 to 58. No, 16 to 55. But it's so expensive, even though this camera was so expensive. But that's besides the point. But for now, this lens is all I got. And what you're seeing right now, probably seems sharp enough. So until I get a new lens, it's going to work just fine for me anyways. And it didn't die with all the water that got into it. Not into the lens, but it got a lot of water on it. I also want to say that any of the overexposed shots were my own fault, not the camera's fault. And I just got too excited in the moment, especially when I got to the summit. That's probably the most upsetting shot. I got to the top. I achieved my goal, and I got the settings wrong and overexposed it so bad. And for most of those shots, I was not shooting an F-Log because, again, it was too bright. So it was really hard to recover those highlights in post from using just the the film simulations. Besides not being able to retain as much as information as F-Log, I think the film simulations still look good, especially Eterna and Classic Chrome. I accidentally had it in Provia for those first couple shots after I took it out of F-Log, and I was like, what am I doing? This looks bad. But let me know which film recipe for film simulation you like the look of the most, or if you just like F-Log with how I graded it, which, by the way, I used DaVinci Resolve to grade the image, and it was super easy to work with the files themselves in DaVinci Resolve, no issue, with a little asterisk saying that I do have one of the M1 MacBook Pros, and this thing is very powerful. That's probably why I was able to handle 6.2K. Whenever I would zoom out and zoom in into the timeline, it would lag a little bit. That's about it. It was super easy to edit. But I won't talk about the editing too much. I did actually really enjoy editing this video, but that could be in a different video entirely. If you want to know about that, let me know, and then I can make a video like that. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Summary: amazing hike, a tiring hike, amazing camera, and There's not one thing I have found that I dislike about it besides the ISO not being able to get mapped to one of the command dials. That's probably the biggest gripe I have with this camera still. Very annoying. I hope and pray that there's a software update to be able to map the command dial to use ISO. But yeah, if you have any questions about the hike or about the camera, let me know down in the comments below. This was overall just kind of a test of the image quality of the camera. But yeah, if you have any comments or questions about the hike or about the Fuji X-H2s, let me know down in the comments below and I will get back to you. But other than that, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my birthday and I will see you guys next time. See ya.